Hi, my name is Antonis and I'm the iconographer in this video. Today you will see me painting the Holy Apostles Peter and Paul and the final steps on their faces. I'm painting the mouths and the beard of Apostle Peter. So here I've prepared a color that is warm enough for the upper lip. Many iconographers, even professional ones, are reluctant in using very warm colors for the lips, as they fear this might be inappropriate. But I find that the darker the proplasmos, the base color of the face is, this brown, greenish brown color that you see, the darker it is, the most welcoming, very strong, rosy, pinkish color for the mouth is. So make sure that the base color corresponds to the color of the mouths. So here I'm using this orangey color for the upper lip and a more pinkish, let's say, brighter in its value, brighter color for the lower lip. I want to make sure that the drawing is correct, the shape of the lower lip is correct in response to the upper lip. This is very, very important. And as I'm feeling fine, I'm proceeding with now painting the highlights right beside the iris of the eye. I'm very, very careful to not spread this this gray bluish shape of color, to not spread it all over. It has to be very discreet and engulf, let's say, the iris in a very subtle and nice way, and directly it gives it completes the expression of the face. Now you can see how transparent the base color is. You can almost see the brush strokes, and these highlights on the eye come and complement this transparency of the proplasmos. You can find more and how I've painted these faces on my Patreon page, and where you can find many tutorials the on painting a Byzantine face there. And I want to thank you all so much for your support, for your beautiful comments here on YouTube and on Patreon as well. Just let me tell you that here on these faces of the Apostle Peter and Paul, I haven't painted any γραψίματα, any darker facial features. I haven't painted those γραψίματα on top of the green brownish proplasmos base color. What you see here as features of the eyes, etc., is underneath the proplasmos. As I explained in my lessons, this is a very unique way to paint an icon, and here you see me doing some let's say accentuate a little bit these γραψίματα, these facial features on top of the proplasmos now with a darker color. I try to be very, very discreet here. I don't want to cover the whole underneath job I've done. I just want to a little bit darken and accentuate the facial features, but in a very, very discreet way and not everywhere. These are the final touches, let's say, I'm doing on an icon. And as I often say, I don't want to be, to create icons that appear perfect and perfectly with lines that are almost digital in their appearance. I'm okay with shaky lines, but I want my icons to inspire the prayers of a viewer, and I want my icons to have some artistic and painting values in them. So here, the color that I'm using to darken a little bit my grapsimata is some iron oxide red along with some black, and maybe just a little bit of cadmium yellow. With that same color and having its consistency thin, I will accentuate a little bit the facial hair of Apostle Paul. I don't want to go very dark. It's really important to keep these grapsimata, these facial hair, or the features on the face, to keep them not dark, but paint them with transparencies as here. Otherwise, you risk really destroying the beautiful preparation work that you have done with the underpainting, and really create icons that are harsh, and their grapsimata, their darker facial features are very strong. It doesn't give a nice result.
Hi, I'm Antonis, and I'm proud to present you my online course in iconography, Paint an Icon with Me. This course will help you become a better iconographer, and it will help you be more confident when talking and presenting your artwork. It will make you understand in depth the studio practices of a professional iconographer like me, and you will get accustomed to what great iconography looks like. So, learn in a simple and organized way everything you need about the materials, mediums, and techniques in order to make a beautiful icon. Paint with me the icon of Christ and learn how to paint better any icon you wish. I will see you at the studio.
Now I'm ready to proceed with painting the hair and the beard of Saint Apostle Peter, and for this I've prepared on my palette a color that is grayish, bluish. I mix titanium white along with some black, and I can break this bluishness of that gray color with just a little bit of some yellow ochre, something like that. I want to make sure that the consistency of this color is thin as usually, and now I'm start painting these first shapes of light. See how the color just leaves my brush, and I'm not spreading the color. I just let the color slide from the tip of my brush. Of course, by copying here the amazing icon of Andreas Rizos, a Cretan painter of the, the peak of the Cretan school of iconography on the 16th century. I really try to observe his brush strokes. I really try to observe the amazing solutions that he found in order to interpret the reality into the Byzantine language. And what an amazing iconographer he was, to really use so little, so few information on with brush strokes, and no matter that, using so little information, he manages to give us a very accurate, a very beautiful, amazing interpretation of a beard on on a man's face. So here I'm painting these shapes. See that I don't care if they are not painted like on a wall, very flat or very, perfectly. It's okay if the brush strokes are visible, if they are a little bit sloppy, that's fine in my opinion. And here as well, you see how nicely this grayish blue, grayish shapes of beard, how nice they complement the transparency of the base color of proplasmos, the green brownish transparency. It's really really amazing, and you can see now the transparency of the face really work and create this beautiful, amazing, glassy almost effect. Of course, in order to to be an iconographer, you have to be in the studio, you have to acquire experience, and most of much of the part of being a painter, an iconographer, is to acquire the experience, to learn how materials behave, to learn how the tools behave. And it's okay if our icons are not perfect. It's really okay. The important is to really acquire this experience, and the more we are in our studio, the more experienced we get. It's nice to have a teacher to give you some shortcuts, let's say, and save you some time by showing you the correct way or one of the correct ways, and correct some mistakes that you might do. But at the end, it's a matter of practice. It's a matter of, being in the studio and do the job yourself. On my Patreon page, you'll be able to find some lessons. You'll be able to find lessons on gilding an icon, on preparing the colors. There are many, many lessons there. And here on the description below, you can find the link on my course where I teach iconography from scratch, from how to do the drawing of an icon to the way of varnishing an icon. You will find this the link on the below this video. So here I've painted the shapes of these lights on the beard, and now I'm proceeding with painting the highlights. It's important in this process to really understand the consistency of the color, and to really create colors on the palette that are of this right consistency. Here that I'm doing these highlights, I want my color to be slightly more thick than on the previous step. but not extremely thick. I want this still to be able to be manipulated nicely by the brush. As you see, the movements that my hand does with the brush, they can't be, taught. It's a matter of muscle memory and experience. So these lines begin, very thin. They get thicker and they fade away thin again. It's really amazing how these highlights transform the icon and give it some volume and some beauty. Of course, Andreas Rizos was a master. His brush strokes are mastery, and they give an icon a unique quality. The older than Andreas Rizos masters of the Paleologian style, let's say, we're not as interested in creating, the perfect brushstroke. That wasn't their focus when icon painting. This focus on the brush stroke, the perfect highlight brush stroke, is very characteristic, typical of the Cretan school of iconography, where the value of an icon is dependent and correlated to the mastery of the brush stroke. It gives us beautiful, unique results, but at the same time, it becomes a mannerism. It's as if we talk about the mannerism in the history of art, where painters don't care about, the about qualities that are essential, let's say, but they care about decorations or about how to impress with their brush strokes or things like that. The masters of the Paleologian era are interested more in translating nature into this Byzantine language, and doing this with a way that's convincing and beautiful. They are not interested in the best, most accurate brushstroke, but rather than creating forms that are convincing and beautiful. So anyway, as you see, by adding these highlights, now the face of Saint Apostle Peter is almost complete, and it does convince us that he is a man with a white beard somehow, and that's really beautiful and amazing how the older masters who created these forms really managed to convince us about this, and at the same time, of course, create a face that inspires us to pray. So hopefully this video will inspire you to be in the studio and try to paint this kind of beard yourselves, and create these transparencies on the proplasmos, the base color, create these γραψίματα just by doing your underpainting and with very little accentuation on the later on. So really, I want to thank you for your support here, your comments, your questions. I read all your comments. Sometimes it's hard to answer, and I really hope you will see so much improvement in your efforts in the studio. You will learn to be great iconographers, and you will really dive deeply into this sacred art, sacred tradition. So this is this is the end of this video for today. I will see you soon with another video. Bye.